Greetings, Lagotto lovers! Welcome to BC Lagotto Romagnolo channel. It has been a while since I posted new content, and I'm surprised and happy to see that the channel is growing. We have over 500 subscribers now, which tells me that the content of this channel is useful to you. Thank you to all who subscribed and liked my videos. This will be another video about grooming, as you see, as they are the most popular kind. I did not actually plan to make another grooming video, as I think I covered all the basics for grooming, but I got new camera and I was playing with it, and since I got some footage, I decided to use it and create a video with an overview of Lagotto code grooming needs. The best way to describe it would be as introduction to grooming or summary of all my grooming videos. To those of you that watched my grooming videos, you most likely will not find anything new here, but if you wish to review, you are most welcome to join. For all new people that would like to watch various grooming styles in more specific ways, I would recommend to visit my grooming playlist. So let's start from the beginning. Lagotto Romagnolo has hair, not fur. These dogs do not shed, but just like us humans, they lose hair. Because they have curly hair, you will not find it on the floor or on your clothes or furniture, because it will be trapped in those lovely curls, eventually creating mats. We brush our hair every day to avoid mats creation. However, brushing Lagotto daily will be counterproductive. For those of you who have curly hair, there is no need to tell you not to brush it dry, as it will create a big fluff ball, and this fluff ball will get tangled much faster than if you wash your hair, brush it wet and let it air dry. The same is true for a Lagotto coat. So to answer the question that frequently comes up, how often should Lagotto get brushed? The answer would depend on length of the hair Lagotto has. I usually clip my dogs short, especially in the summer, and I do not need to brush them at all. But if the hair is above 2 centimeters, you will need to go over the coat at least once a month to check if mats present and remove them before they get too big to be brushed out. The best time to do it is after a bath, as I will highly recommend to avoid brushing your Lagotto with dry coat. I have brushed my first Lagotto dry, and the more I brushed, the more mats I would get. Some Lagotto do not mat at all, but with those with softer and finer hair structure will mat all the time. It is especially bad for them starting around 7 months of age and up to 2 years, when the dog is changing puppy coat to adult coat. On the bright side, shave your dog and have carefree time for at least 2 months. The next question is, how often should I wash my Lagotto? I personally wash mine when they get really dirty, but definitely no more than once a month. In the summer, they have super short coats and swim in the creek all the time, so no bath is needed. Unlike other breeds, Lagotto do not have a doggy smell. In the fall, however, I wash them more often, as we have fish-bearing creek and some love to roll over on the dead fish. The aroma is not to my liking, so shampoo comes to the rescue. Also, if you keep your dog coat long and your dog is always wet due to the rain or swimming, the coat might start to smell like a dirty rag that never get a chance to dry up. This is another reason for me to keep the coat short, as it rains plenty here in BC and dogs are in the water regardless of the season. I use a Spectrum shampoo for adults, as many ask, but I am sure there are other good shampoos out there. For puppies, I used to use Burt's Bee, but it's not foaming well enough, and I will be looking for different products. Grooming Lagotto is not as difficult as you might imagine. I am not a groomer, but with practice I learned to groom my dogs, and I'm happy with the result. I saw someone comment on one of my grooming videos that I don't know how to hold scissors right, and perhaps I don't, but I hold it in the way I like it and comfortable for me, and I scissor my dogs just fine, and they don't mind me not knowing how to hold my scissors. So, If you want to watch professional groomers to learn how to groom your dog, this video and all my other videos are not for you. However, if you feel intimidated by professional groomers videos using scissors at lightning speed, just as I was when I was just beginning to groom my dogs, you are most welcome to stay and watch my slow and relaxed approach to grooming. The most important part for grooming is to pick the right time and to have a willing dog. I have a video addressing this issue, but in short, lots of short practices daily and a tired dog is the key to a stress-free grooming experience. Don't be afraid to mess up the hairdo, as it is just hair and it grows back about 1 centimeter a month. In the worst case scenario, you can shave your dog after if it looks really bad. Practice makes it better wherever you start doing, and grooming is no exception. At the end, you will save lots of money, have this special bonding time with your dog, and will have a well-kept dog at all times. Even if you plan to take your dog to the groomer, you will prepare your pup for this big day by doing mini grooms at home. In any case, it is a win-win situation. Every proper groom starts with a bath. I also use a force blower to untangle curls for easier brush, but not to have hair fully dry. I use a wide tooth comb to go over the body to pull out mats if present. You see, Anfisa here has a longer coat on legs and lots tiny mats. I tease them out by going different directions and catching smaller strands of hair by using the front of the comb. There is a special tool for dematting on the market, but I never use it. If the mats are small, I use this technique. If somehow I missed and have a big mat, I would just shave it off using clippers. Happens sometimes in armpits. The skin there is more sensitive, so I would just shave it with number 10 blade. I do not use brush, only comb, even though I say brush the dog, as it just fluffs the coat on top and leaves mats underneath. Also, if your dog has lots mats like Anfisa here, give an area a break to comb other areas and then come back to finish the problem side. As you can see, the dog on the table is relaxed and doesn't mind me at all. Once all the mats are out, I will start to scissor whatever is available. Some dogs prefer lying down style, so I will scissor legs first and then ask them to stand. You can choose what lengths you want, as all my grooms are pretty short. There is a video for combo groom where I shave the body and scissor legs and head. There is also a very detailed groom with scissors only called Grooming Lagotto is Fun. My very unusual style of grooming is not proper or professional, and of course some parts are easier groomed with dogs standing. But it works for my dogs and me, and you do you. I have dogs who prefer to stand, and I try to accommodate the preferences of my dogs as much as possible. Once you finish scissoring your dog, let the coat settle over a few days and you will see some hair sticking out which you can just snip off. It happens because not all curls are uniformed. In some places they are tighter than in others, but this problem is easily solved. This is a beauty of the Lagotto code. On one hand, it doesn't matter how even you did the cut. Various tightness of curls can negate it. On the other hand, if you don't cut the coat evenly, the curls will hide it anyway. So even new groomers can get a decent result. So Anfisa is ready to be scissored, and since she is lying down, I am starting with legs. You see me cutting out hair between the toes? You can see close-up footage in a Minigroom video. The hair between the toes will grow just like everywhere else, and if not trimmed, will mat. You don't need to remove all the hair or shave it, as the skin will get irritated between the toes. So some short hair should stay. It is also easier to do when hair is slightly wet, as it will be easier to lift the hair to cut it. Also, the hair between toes stays wet longer, and if your dog is constantly wet like mine, it will be permanently wet place and discoloration to the hair will happen. Last time Anfisa was groomed 2.5 months ago. Her body was shaved with number 7 blade and legs and head were scissored. You can see the video like that in Easy Combo Groom. This is why her body hair is about 2 centimeters long now, and the hair on her legs and head much longer. I have not combed her hair since her last groom, and that is the reason she had lots mats on her legs, but her body was still short enough and not matted. Somehow life got in the way. All the other dogs were groomed except for her. Today I will use scissors mostly to groom all dogs with the exception of tummy shave and private parts. It is December and the weather might change to real cold, so I want them to have some protection from cold wind. But it still will be a very short-haired groom because if it snows, long hair will collect snowballs and it is impossible to go for a long walk because of it. My dogs walk off leash in the woods, so they keep themselves warm by running around. I start with leg scissoring. Legs should look like columns, and it is up to you how fat or skinny you want them. If you want to have really fluffy legs, it is better to do it with the dog standing and after you finish scissoring the body. You just need to remember about the balance and have hair on the legs just slightly longer than on the body. As you probably remember, I did not completely dry the hair for the groom, and now as it is drying up, it curls back. This is the reason I need to lift up the hair with the comb or fingers in order to scissor. However, if you are planning on a fluffy show groom, it would be best to finish drying up the dog after you remove the mats by force blower and then scissor the standing dog. I am, however, scissoring the legs with the dog laying down because the haircut will be short everywhere and I can easily blend legs to the body. The hair on her body is still fairly short, but I will be trimming it anyway because hair is growing at different speed on the body and she has much longer hair around her neck than on her back. I am aiming for the same length, outlining her body shape. Sometimes people reach out to me to tell me about an unsatisfactory experience in the grooming salon. The complaints are usually about straight coat, fluffy ears and tail, the strange expression to the eyes because of incorrect cut. Well, Lagotto are still fairly rare, although there are more now than 10 years ago, but groomers do not always have the chance to meet one or groom one. You can help them to understand the principles of Lagotto Groom and specifics of the code. However, there is a time restriction in grooming salons, and after the wash your Lagotto will be dried out completely for a fast and easy haircut, as wet coat will constantly curl up and dry will stay up longer for the groomer to scissor your dog properly. Do not worry about the fluffy dog. The curls will be back after the first rain, or just sprinkle your dog with water. There is a very good card done by Katrien van Gemert, Rose Bottles Lagotto Romagnolo, that you can show to the groomer or keep it to yourself for reference. I cannot show you the card due to the copyright, but you can find it easily on the internet. So let's talk about absolutely necessary equipment. Well, absolutely is a relative term. You can just get away to have a comb and scissors, but for easy grooms, good clippers are highly recommended. I use Andy's 2-speed clippers and I'm super happy with it. It's 9 years old and it's still working. I cannot compare it with any other clippers as I haven't used any. I must warn you about cheap clippers. While you will be able to use it on a young pup, adult Lagotto have super thick coat and it will not work. As for blade size, I use number 30 blade for paws and edges of the ears. You can see it in Minigroom video. This blade is super short, 0.5 millimeters long. Number 10 blade is 1.5 millimeters long and I use it for armpits and private parts. Number 7 is 3.2 millimeters and I use it for body shave. You can see it in easy Lagotto Romagnolo, the length of the coat when it's shaved with number 7 blade. The longest blade I sometimes use on the body is number 4, which is 9.5 millimeters. The longer the blade, the harder it will be to shave Lagotto because of the very thick and curly coat. If you want to have a longer coat, you would have to scissor the dog. It will be much easier and faster. The more mats your dog has, the shorter blade is needed. But I wouldn't go lower than number 10. Number 7 is ideal to my needs, and if there is some very matted area, you can use number 10 or even number 30 just to remove mats at that location. Mats that are too close to the skin for you to get with the longer blade. Wide-toothed comb and good scissors are also needed. At this time I use Kenchi brand Scorpion 8-inch scissors. They are super sharp and comfortable. I use straight scissors as well as bended one. For bended one I like to use for the head. Lagotto tail should look like a carrot, which means the tail set will be thicker than the tip of the tail. You can make it a thin or fat carrot, but it should have a balance with your overall groom. If you're shaving your dog, shave the tail too. If I shave the dog with number 7 blade, I would use the same blade for the tail, but will go against the hair growth. If scissoring the tail, then feather the hair from all sides and follow the outline of the tail, as it is naturally thicker at the base and thinner at the tip. Hold the tip of the tail between your fingers to avoid cutting the dog, especially if you have a tail wiggler. This is actually good practice to keep one hand on the dog while you scissor with other. You will feel the dog move much faster than you can see it. Do-it-yourself video has more accent on clippers if you never used one before. Also, the dog is standing for the whole process of grooming, which is highly unusual for us. Some people tell me that their dog would never stay calm or lay down for the groom. As I said before, it is a matter of practice and it is entirely up to you and your dog which style to practice. When the dog is lying down, there is less chance it will move. For me, especially in the beginning, moving targets and scissors were not compatible. So if I groom a young pup or super wiggly dog, I would choose to do it with clippers. Most of my dogs enjoy grooming just like Anfisa here, but some would rather be somewhere else, busy doing stuff. But even in this case, the dog will play possum, as I can call it, and sleep pretending they are somewhere else. I would much rather have a possum dog than a dog that has tantrum. I do not use noose or any other restrictive equipment. I rely on lots of treats and trust-based relationship. With puppies, I use lots of treats during grooms. Now with adults, they will get treats for coming on the grooming table and after the groom is done. Occasionally, depending on the dog, treats are given during the groom. I cannot stress enough the importance of practicing regularly right from the beginning. I am sure all of you can find 5 minutes a day to do it. So now with the dog standing, I will be scissoring the body following natural curves of the dog and blending body to already scissored legs. While it is possible to exaggerate the body lines, making bigger chest, for example, by leaving hair longer there, I don't normally do it. It is usually done for show grooms to give this better outline of the silhouette of the dog. The neckline starts just below the jawbones, moving up just beneath the skull bone. As I said before, even though Anfisa doesn't have a long coat on her body, she has longer hair around her neck due to different speed hair grows on the body, making the outline of the dog sort of looking ungraceful. Because I'm doing a short haircut, I will be cutting off the beard for hygienic purposes, but usually some hair is left on the chin. Again, it is up to you. Grooming Lagotto is fun, has better view of proper per breed prescription head scissoring. Here it is a modified version of Lagotto Groom to fit my needs. The area on the head where ear lays down, I cut short, the same length as the rest of the body, as it will be covered by the ear. The ear will have a better air circulation and will dry up faster if it gotten wet. The inner part of the ear I shave with number 10 blade for the same purpose. The hair on top of the ear flap will compensate and will be cut in a way so the head looks round shaped and one with ears. The ear grooming will not be covered in this video. You can watch two other videos I have. One is long in-depth video pluck or not Lagotto ears, and the other one is Lagotto ear grooming, is super short and easy to understand and just for regular grooming of the ears. I'm going to speed up the footage now because it seems like I have way too long of a video that I planned, but you can still see what I'm actually doing. Of course, with such a short groom, the hair will not have enough length to curl, but it is not important to me. My main goal is to keep dogs as clean as possible. The shorter the coat, the less dirt they will bring home. In the summer, I have to check dogs for ticks, and with a shorter coat, it is much easier to do. Also, the grass seeds and sand will fall out of short coat, while the curls will hold to everything and bring it home. In the winter, it rains a lot, and long coat need a longer time to dry up. But if you want to have curls right after the groom, you would have to have longer hair. The length of the hair would depend on the size of the curls your dog has. Some curls are super tiny and can curl with 1 centimeter of coat already, while others with coarser hair structure will need at least 3 to 4 centimeters to form a curl. Also, remember I said to sprinkle the fluffed dog with water to get curls back after the groom? Well, with this method, the curls will be superficial. If you want full depth curls, the dog needs to be thoroughly wet either by going back to the shower or swimming in the lake and then air dried. This method will give Lagotto the rustic look this breed should have. However, it is more suited for hot summer days. I would not do it in the winter. Besides, once in a while, I like to have a fluffy dog, as I can get rustic any day. There is a book, The Art of Keeping It Rustic by Katrin van Gemert, if you want to have a grooming book at home. It has lots of pictures and fantastic description of proper and incorrect cuts. It appears that scissoring the head is the most difficult part for most new groomers. And the most difficult part is how to cut hair around the eyes so the eyes are not sunken. So the rule is not to cut hair around the eyes, but rather cut those strands of hair that are covering the eyes. I prefer to see my dog's eyes, so I also like to lighten up the heavy coat around the eyes by scissoring hair above eyelashes so that the head hair is sort of hanging over but not totally on the upper eyelid. Also, if you do not want to cut eyelashes, close the dog's eye by pressing down gently on those eyelashes. Some of my dogs have way too long eyelashes, so they curl to the side, and I trim them a little bit. I don't normally scissor the shape of the ear. I use clippers to clip it along the edge of the ear, but I forgot to do it when she was dry and the hair is still wet, so I am unable to clip it. So if you choose to scissor the shape of your dog ear, keep the flap of the ear between your fingers so you don't cut the dog. It's really easy to cut the dog this way. That's why I prefer to use clippers. In my other videos, especially in the ear groom, you most likely will see how it is done. So right now you see pretty fluffy ears, and of course it is owner's preference. There is a lot of doodle ears Lagotto have, but the Lagotto is supposed to have ears that are one with the head, so I am scissoring it shorter to the tip of the ear and longer to blend it with the head, so it appears that the ears belong to the head and don't live by themselves. I am using number 10 blade to shave the private parts. Shave it with the hair growth, not against it, so there is some hair cushion left. Otherwise, it will be irritated down there. Same for the bum. You can use number 10 or number 30 blade, but make sure you don't touch with the blade the ring around the anus. Just cut the hair with the blade on the sides where the actually hair growing. You can also clip the tummy and inner thighs with number 7 blade. It is much easier to do than just scissor it. The hair on the tummy I prefer to cut when the dog is lying down. Most of my girls had puppies and the nipples are much bigger than if the dog didn't have puppies, so it is higher chance I can cut it if the dog is standing because I am doing a very short groom. So it is much better for me to do it this way so I can see and I can cut around the nipples or hold the nipple while I'm cutting the hair, and this is the safety issue for me. Anfisa is pretty much done. I'm just gonna check her a little bit and see what I missed, if there are any stickies out there, and that will be it for her. And if you still here, you're gonna see a next victim. It will be Mia. This is Mia. Her groom didn't start it with buzz, but rather I am clipping her tummy. Sometimes when I want to do the groom faster, I would just do the clipping instead of washing first, because if I wash the dog, I can't clip it if the hair is a little bit wet. It's just easier for me to shave the dog and then wash the dog and then scissor it, because I can scissor when the hair is a little bit damp. The only thing you gotta remember with dirty dog and clippers, your blades will dull much faster if you clip your dogs dirty. I do it anyway, I just buy new ones because sometimes I'm just too lazy to wash the dog or brush the dog, because if the dog has lots of mudds, I would just clip the dog and leave the dog be without unmatting it, just clipping it, that's it. And I just gonna buy new blades. But if you want to keep your blade life longer, you need to wash the dog and then clip it when it's fully dry. Then bath time, of course, we need to wash the dog, and now she's all fluffed up and ready for a groom. Mia will have exact same groom as Anfisa did. Perhaps you will see different angles of cutting, but I am pretty much run out of things to say, and I'm gonna speed up some footage so you can see. Maybe you will see something that is useful to you, but I am going to say goodbye to you. If you still here at the end, there will be another dog, Gaia. There is even less footage, but she was standing for the groom, and I just inserted few things for you to see. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and enjoy the video. I hope you like it, and let me know what you think. Looks like this. Alright. It's not very comfortable. Don't miss it. And if you're still here and still watching the video till the end, I congratulate you, it's almost over. This is Gaia, she was the last one. I just included her in the team because she likes to stand, and you can see she stands just fine. If you have any requests for any particular videos, let me know in the comments. Also let me know if you like this video or not, and if not, why not. Is it about my unconventional grooming style, or that I don't know how to hold my scissors, or anything else? Please let me know, I'm curious to know. Otherwise, I wish you a great day, and I hope you will practice with your dog and your dog will comply with you, and you will be wonderful as long as you practice. Thank you again and have a good day. See you next time.